Hi, welcome back to the Jack and Glenn channel. I'm Jackie.
And I'm a husband, Glenn.
He's my husband, Glenn.
And before we get started, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification so you won't miss any of our reviews. Tonight we're reviewing Married at First Sight, season 18, episode number 16. And we have a lot to talk about on this episode. We've seen decision day, some decision days for some people. We've seen a new couple form, and we've seen some guys just put fire out with their hands. So let's get started. Let's get off. We started. Episode started off where they left off from the last episode, and that's what Michelle and Madison having a confrontation in the bathroom. And Michelle came with her guns a-blazing. Man,
I don't want to say sit down, sis. You ain't hard. I just feel like it was just too much.
But you got Madison. Madison really didn't know why, acting like she didn't know why Michelle was mad after she's hiding. Because let's be honest, Madison hiding in her room because Allan was going off. Allan told her to go back. Madison hiding, and Madison like, well, I just told him tonight. We like, I don't care when you told him. You've been doing this for a while. You could have just told him tonight, but you guys have been, and that's what she's. I'm mad at the fact they didn't close the door.
Yeah, because David keeps interjecting, and Madison's like, "I got it, just chill, David." And Michelle keeps looking like, what? Oh, well, fine. Since he kept jumping in, then she was like, "I'm leaving then."
I really needed to hear I wanted to hear what Madison had to say. And here comes Captain, I don't want to say Captain Saberho, but David came in to protect his girl. He wanted to protect his boo. And he wouldn't let her have a conversation edgewise, otherwise. And so we really did get a resolve between Madison and Michelle because David kept jumping in.
Yeah.
And so Michelle gets frustrated. She storms off. She leaves off. She goes into the room with and Camille, and she starts telling them, the story again,
mm-hmm.
and what she feel. And then Madison said this, and Camille just sitting there just eating it all up. But Camille didn't say a word.
No, because I think she was just listening, and I think at that point, it was like Michelle just really wanted to vent because they had already heard it before, and they were privy to a lot of it. But yeah, so I think Camille was just listening. That wasn't really the time to be interjecting anyway, because like Michelle is not at the point where she want to hear it.
Somebody should tell that because she interjected a little bit. Like, yeah, right. And Michelle like, well, shoot, did you eat her? Did you eat her up? Like, what we doing here? Like, I mean, like anybody else, we got questions. They got questions. I have a lot. Look, if I'm MM and I'm Camille, like, girl, why you ain't smack her? Girl, why you ain't lay hands on? I'm like, all those type of questions come into play. This girl just told you she's trying to be your friend, and we talked about the friend thing. I'm gonna use friend loosely.
But Madison hasn't actually really told anybody anything. David, she talked to David.
Right.
David talked to Michelle. David talked to Allan.
Yeah. You're right. Madison really hasn't said a word, but she was getting ready to have opportunity, but David messed it up. And which makes you wonder, why does David keep blocking this girl from telling the truth?
I don't think he's blocking her from telling the truth.
He keeps protecting her. He keeps protecting her.
Yeah, he's not blocking her, but yeah, he's not blocking her from telling the truth.
Well, yeah.
I mean, he's telling the truth. I think the better word is he's protecting her, but yeah. Anyway.
All right. So after that, we see Michelle goes home.
Yeah.
MM goes home
because they rode together.
Yeah, they rode together.
Michelle's like, I want to leave. I'm not trying to be around them. She said, like, I don't want to see her. She came close, like, I want to fight her. Girl, bye.
You should want to see her tonight. When David went to the room, you should be like, hey, Madison, can we have that conversation now? She ain't about that life.
So Michelle said, I'm gonna leave. I want to get out of here. I'm done with it. And MM was like, well, yeah, me too, because we rode together.
We're together. They pack up and they leave. They go home. But then the next day we see David and Juan having a conversation in the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
Juan asked him how was he doing, and David said, I'm doing all right. Then Juan says it's gonna be okay. But then my man Juan steps up. Juan said, like, bro, you was wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Juan, like, yo, you was wrong. There's a day is long. You shouldn't have did that. Like, y'all couldn't wait till this was over.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you and David, they said, like, my feelings are my. I'm like, no, your feelings are your feelings, but that's somebody else's wife. That's the cruddy part. Like, they couldn't wait. The treadmill is that great, but I like the fact that Juan stepped up. He showed his humanity. He showed that he. You
mean his sensibility.
His sensibility,
mm-hmm.
that he's able to tell his friends when they're wrong.
And what I like about it, just to jump ahead a little bit, is Juan and Carla were on the same page,
mm-hmm.
but Carla even more so.
Oh yeah, we talked about that. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
So when David sees the women in the kitchen, and Carla's finally there, and so Carla slept most of the time, but David was like, when David was getting ready to leave, and he was telling everybody bye. We can still hang out. We can still be cool. We can still kick it. Carla like, no, we can't. Carla like, nope. You can see the look on Carla's face was like, no, we're not cool. Like, I'm not rocking with you. Like, you ain't messing with me. My energy is messed up because of y'all. And Carla kept it real the whole time. Because when she talked to Madison, she was like, girl, you messed up everybody. You messed up the circle. There's like a circle friend. We had some trust here. And I think Carla was also like, you had me involved in this. And in a little part of it. Right. Like, you had me involved.
Like she said, Carla and Camille talked about the fact that, when we were in like the girl circles and you had so much, you had things to say, you interjecting or whatever, and you knew y'all had this going on. Mm-hmm. And she was like, but I was really trying to help her out when she had a question about the text message, because I didn't know the text message from me. I didn't know nothing about that text message. Yeah. But you did know you was, and I don't want to say messing with you. You did know y'all was having gym dates. Y'all did know y'all was hanging out.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I feel like if you had any sense about you, you probably should have speculated. Then maybe that was about me.
She straight up called Madison grimy. Like, that's dirty.
She said that was dirty. That was grimy.
You messed my energy up. Like, you messed the circle up. And she like, you said it. I think you said it last week, or somebody said it on our. That Carla should have just put sage throughout the whole house.
Well, she brought her sage though.
Yeah.
She actually said that in her vignette. She was like, "Well, I got to get the energy out, to clear the energy out of here."
Yeah, don't slip on Carla, because she kept it real with Madison.
I loved it.
Carla really kept it real with Madison. Carla was like, "Look, this ain't right."
Cause what she told her was, she was like, "Look, can I be honest with you? I'm gonna keep it a buck with you, keep it 100." And she did not pull no punches. And Madison was sitting there looking like
just dumb in the face. Because you can't tell a lie to Carla. Like, oh, it's just a gym. I just told him last night. I'm still to the 100% question. I'm going to ask you. What was said to her to make her come clean that night? There's no way. I got 7 days left. We're in this house for like another day or two. We can get back home with Allan. I can smooth this thing out.
What she said.
Why you hang?
She said later that she didn't want it to be presented. She didn't want it to come out like that. She wanted to do it differently. She also said she wanted to be the one to talk to Allan.
Then she should have, because we saw her go.
Homeboy jumped the gun.
No, she jumped the gun because she went to David, professed her love for David.
Right, but she didn't tell David go talk to Allan. David said, I'm going to go talk to my man.
She shouldn't have professed her love to him. She should have told David no.
It wasn't love. It was like.
Her like, connection, whatever. Hey, she shouldn't have professed her connection to him. She could have kept it alive like he kept it alive. And you wouldn't have had all this breakout at the retreat. Would have been at the end of the journey. Mm-hmm. And that's the thing that, I know somebody was going to get hurt anyway. But you destroyed this for everybody. Mm-hmm. You've been hanging on to this for weeks. As she said, I started feeling this way a couple weeks ago, right? She could have held on to this for a couple more days and then blew that bad boy up after decision day, right? No, with David, they could have came into after the decision day and me and David together. whatever, and then blew it up that way.
Mm-hmm.
But the way that it went down, heck no. You let Michelle, in a sense, punk you, and in order for her to get the truth, instead of holding to your guns. Neither one of them are great liars, and we'll see that a little bit later on. Why we talk about neither one of them are great liars. Well, after Miss Madison talks to Carla, after she talks to MM and she talks to Camille, Madison.
Well, MM's not there.
Oh, not MM. Sorry, Camille and Carla. She decides to leave too.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, I thought she was gonna go. I thought she would have gone. I thought she was gonna take David with her. So she goes up and tells David that she's getting ready to leave. Now, I don't know about y'all. She hugged David more in this episode than she ever hugged Allan. Did y'all count the hugs? Because I was counting her. David got more hugs in this episode than we ever seen Allan.
Homeboy was laying in the bed when she was like, I'm getting ready to go.
He walked in there, he looked at that bed. It was a big room. Like, you ain't been in that room before, and hopped in the bed. Like, he felt comfortable in the bed with her. It wasn't like he sat on the edge of the bed. He
hops up and gives her a hug.
It wasn't sat on the edge of the bed. He got comfortable with he got comfortable sleeping in the bed. It was one of those things like, you know what? He been in the bed with her before. It's comfortable. She packed her suitcase. And this is what I looked at. I peeped it. Bruh didn't even help her take her suitcase outside. She took that big suitcase down them steps, all her bags. He did not once say, hey, let me get a hand. Can I give you a hand? He looking out the window, people out the window like, hey, man, take.
That's because he didn't want.
I just want to get to. I don't think he thought Allan might have creeped back in. He was hiding from somebody. Like, don't hide in a room. You made a decision. Everybody knows now. Like, who you hiding from, bro? Come out your room. Like he was.
Well, I think he didn't want. I don't know if he was ducking Allan. I think he didn't want no more heat than he already
From
had.
who? Everybody who's gonna give him heat is gone.
No. Oh no, he can still get heat from Carla and Juan and Camille and Thomas.
But the way he came downstairs when he getting ready to leave, he like dapped him up. I love y'all. Like, he didn't care about them.
But no, he ain't dap up Carla.
Not Carla, because Carla
he did.
She gave him
Camille a hug.
Right. Carla gave him a side eye. Carla, he already knew Carla was hot. Carla ain't got nothing. She got no love for him. But I'm saying he could at least help her out. So again, you can see where this relationship going. He ain't gonna be no gentleman, right? Ain't gonna be no gentleman in this situation. That to help her out, she didn't have to carry on stuff with my man from last season. Carry her bags in a suitcase. In the airport, and she was mad at him. The one that got sick, real sick, fake sick, whatever you want to call it. Anyway,
so after that, we do see Allan come back to the house.
Yeah.
Because when he left, he didn't drive himself. He left his car. He had to come pick his car up.
Yeah, and David was still there when he comes back. David was still there. Madison had left, and because even Juan made a comment when David left. He said, "Man, I thought you was gone." Like, David was in the house so quiet that people had thought he was gone. Mm-hmm. Allan comes back. He talks to Carla, and he talks to Camille because there's only couples left. He packs the seasoning up. And I don't know what they eating while David gone.
It wasn't there.
It was when Allan came back. Allan came and picked his seasoning up from the house. He pulled out a Ziploc bag, a gallon bag. He put his seasoning in.
Oh, yeah, because he was cooking.
He was
the one cooking.
He picked all his seasoning and stuff up. He packed his stuff up, had his bag in his hand, and he was standing by the kitchen door when he was talking to him. He came and picked his car up in the seasoning. Like, y'all ain't keeping this. Y'all ain't keeping my good seasoning. Heck no.
But the thing that stuck out to me there was, again, I blame Michelle because she put it in his head. He couldn't turn it loose. And then the same way she had been turning it over her head. He said that's what he did that night. He just turned it over. He was like, did they stay in a room with each other last night? And Juan's like, man, I don't know. Ain't nobody checking that. And he was like, don't even do that to yourself. The thing. He was like, man, I know, but I'm just saying, this is what's going through my head now. Michelle started that.
He started connecting the dots, and he started piecing. In his mind, on his ride home, he started piecing stuff together. All the nights she stayed out late, all the nights that he stayed out late, all the nights that he started hanging out together, all the time he started piecing all this stuff together. It would drive you crazy. And one thing Thomas said that I like here, Thomas said, "Look, I don't agree with everything Michelle said, but I got to be Team Michelle."
Oh, yeah. He was like, that's what happened when he was talking to Camille, too. Mm-hmm. He was like, I was trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. And, come from his point of view or whatever. And he was like, but after everything has come out, he was like, man, I can't be Team David. I gotta be Team Michelle, because like, bruh, you was wrong for that. You was wrong for that. And now that everything's come out, like everybody's like, David, you're a liar. You're a liar, and I can't ride with you. I can't rock with you on that. But yeah, so Allan's been playing his mind game with himself all night, trying to figure out who, what, when, where, how.
And trying to figure out if it's something he could have saved, something he did. He's at the point where he told Carla and Camille, I don't want nothing to do with her. Don't let her talk to me. I don't need to see her again. I don't need to call her. She don't need to reach out to me. Like, she is totally cut off.
But she wants to talk to him.
She wants to talk to him.
But she wants to talk to him and explain her side, because like I said, she said, I haven't even gotten a chance to talk to him.
Yeah, but
I want to talk to him.
But a lot of her explaining her side is for her guilt. It's not really for Allan, right? Mm-hmm. It's for her guilt. You know how it is when you get caught doing something, you want to tell your side of the story, even though you know you did wrong. She just want to share her. Like, it doesn't matter what you share, right? Because at this point, Allan ain't gonna believe you anyway. Like, because the way that it came out,
it's nothing. It ain't even about him believing her. There's nothing you can say that will make it right.
Right, which what she wants to tell him is that I love you, that I not love you, but I cared about you. I didn't mean, because remember what she kept saying? I wasn't trying to hurt him. I didn't want to come out this way. Which way did you want it to come out? You don't have the way. You don't have the control of how it comes out. We know that.
Listen.
You don't have the control of how.
Listen, what do I?
You put too much trust.
Oh my gosh!
In other people.
When people cheat on their spouses, when they have a side piece, a side dude, whatever the case may be, I'd be like, man, y'all putting a whole lot of trust in these jokers that somebody ain't gonna catch like super feelings, and y'all end up on Fatal Attraction,
right,
on BET or TV One, whatever channel that come on, or you end up on Dateline. Because if they don't do something to you, they do something to the other person because they want to be with you. You don't know who. You can't control what people will say and do. They could tell you they're not going to say something. Man, so she put a whole lot of trust in David, and he was like, I'm going to let this thing out the way. I'm going to let it go out the way.
David had all.
And also, you can't control the other two people involved neither. You can't control Allan, and you can't control Michelle.
Right, you can't, and that's one thing. I will get to that part in a minute. It's about controlling Allan and Michelle, because her friend, Madison's friend, said something. Right, and I'm like, hey, yo, he ain't no way in the world. He did a great thing, but so you had Madison. So after Allan leaves, we see was it at that point Madison's gone, David's gone, Allan leaves. Allan talks out. He gone. Carla, Camille, and Juan, the four couples, the four people left. They play basketball. They play a little game of pig. Camille wins. Carla was shooting the ball a little bit. Carla has some skills, and then they get up and leave. Well, I'll take that back. As they packing, I want to hit this point because she lead my man on. And as they're packing,
she didn't lead him on.
He wanted to see some sexy lingerie that weekend retreat. Thomas wanted to see the sexy lingerie that she'd been promising. Now, even though he got the draw,
she didn't promise. She said she brought it.
She bought it
just in case.
He wanted to get him something.
It was just in case. Ain't nobody say she didn't get. Never did they ever say they didn't get none.
She said
she just didn't put the lingerie.
But she said there was a lot going on this weekend.
It was.
So Thomas
was. Like, I can imagine. I know, man. I don't know how anybody would be in the mood for that, because you feel so bad for Allan and bad for Michelle. Like, dog. And I told you, sleep is a reprieve for. I really do believe a lot of the people that would sleep at that time, it was some tired, but it was also tired of this drama. And once I go to sleep, I wake up in the morning, hopefully the drama will be done.
Yeah, she told Thomas maybe after decision day.
Yeah, she said maybe this is something for after decision day.
Keep leading.
But they did. They had matching pajamas on. They had the buffalo plaid, the red plaid pajamas on, and he was like, you got me doing things that I wouldn't normally do, which is dressing alike. It's real hard to get a man to get matching pajamas with you and to like it.
I do it every year.
No.
I do it every now. I do.
No.
I do it every year now.
No.
Before,
No.
nah. But you have gotten me to do things that I wouldn't do. So I wear matching pajamas, which you and the kids. I do now. Say I don't.
Barely.
No. That's not what I said. Say I don't.
I didn't say that.
Oh, I do. I do.
But he don't like it.
I'm not saying I don't like it. I do it. Yeah, I even take the family picture with pajamas on now. I said I just wasn't gonna do no onesie. That was my thing. Like
that's the next thing. I want y'all to convince Glenn.
I'm not doing a onesie.
I want y'all to convince Glenn. We're gonna do onesies. I'm gonna take y'all back. I'm telling my age. We're gonna have onesies on like JJ from Good Times.
I do the family pajamas, but I'm not doing a onesie. So, sorry. Back to the show.
But they had their matching pajamas on. I thought it was cute, but I was like, oh, they're going home in those.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, they're real comfortable.
They're real comfortable. Only couples really left because Carla wanted friends.
I don't know. I think I saw a little bit of a little bit over the weekend, a little bit that you could say was a little bit more than friends, but yeah, they're really good friends. But yeah, they just kind of talk about the fact that, while we're kind of, like leaving the drama there, and it was a lot this weekend. And so I want to go back to you. I think you said this already. That's why they went outside and played pig, because it was like, we got to do something fun. This is not what was supposed to happen. Yeah. I wonder what was actually planned. I feel like they were supposed to have another group meal.
I told you they need to stop doing this group stuff. After one person in the group mess it up for everybody else, when you keep doing all this group stuff, somebody is bound to like somebody else's spouse. It used to be the day when they wasn't around the group. They was on their own individuals. They were doing their own thing. They would come back later. It wasn't all this group activity. They might have met with the group maybe once or twice. Mm-hmm. But now every time you turn around, they're with the group, see what happens. And they didn't all live in the same apartment. They didn't make it accessible. Right. So again, Married at First Sight had this experiment made it conducive for them, kind of easy for them to cheat. Because I can go to the gym downstairs with Madison. I can go upstairs to the apartment. Put them in different buildings. Mm-hmm. I know it's easier for the show to produce it, the camera and the video. Put them in different buildings, and you won't have this problem. Wouldn't have had this problem.
Speaking of conducive environment, atmosphere, we see David talk to his friend about the situation, and you talking about ticked. I was like, this is so, like, where is your sensible friend at? Because he's telling his friend, well, obviously, what's been going on with me and Michelle. Well, I actually started kicking it and liking one of the other wives, and like his friend did not seem surprised or bothered at all.
Look, his friend already knew.
Encouraged him to pursue it. David was like, basically, Madison have him like a giddy little teenage pimple-faced boy. I could see myself marrying her, and I was like, we're gonna be good gym buddies, and I'm in there one day with her working on the I'm thinking she's working on her shoulders. I'm remarking how
traps and stuff,
how her traps look, and I look over her shoulder, and she's doing her fantasy football draft. I'm like, man, look, she's so much like me, and his friend is just eating it up. And I was like, this is sick. Why your friend not like, really?
Most friends would have been like, what wife? Who? The dude ain't punch you in the mouth. My friends were like, he ain't punch you in the mouth? You did what? With who? Like, what's wrong with you? I got some friends that got some accountability. Like, you did what? His friend didn't ask any questions. That's why I was like, this setup. Like, your friend already knew. This is how.
He didn't ask no questions. He didn't seem disgusted, surprised.
At all. They all hang
offended. Like, he didn't get on him at all. No. He didn't get on him at all. He was like, man, if she got you feeling like that, go for it. I was like, what the heck?
Not like you ain't married. This is why you know that Madison and David, it was much more than gym buddies. Their friends hung out with him, even when she got on the phone with Amanda, right? Well, yeah, when she got on the phone with Amanda after Allan went
let's go. But we got what happened.
Yeah.
So we see Allan come back to the apartment.
We go. Allan talks to Michelle first.
Yes, but I was gonna say, Allan came to the apartment before Madison.
Madison, yeah,
and took care of some things. But yeah, so we see Allan go talk to Michelle, and that scene irked me too, because I feel like she was just eating it up. And it almost, me and you talked about this, it almost made it seem like, oh, I'm glad I'm not the only person in this situation.
It did. And she
like I'm not the only person miserable.
That's miserable, right?
Yeah.
And then
misery loves company.
Misery loves company, and she didn't really. Again, we know Michelle didn't really like David. She didn't have no interest in David till David had interest in someone else.
She was like, I'm so hurt.
I feel like crying. I haven't even cried yet. What are you crying for?
That's the part. I was like, what? Why would you be crying?
What are you crying for?
Allan genuinely has a reason to cry. Like he talked about the fact that, I like poured my heart out.
Yeah.
I shared my feelings with her. She been lying to me all this time, had me hanging by a thread, thinking that there was hope and that she was trying. And meanwhile, she's doing this. And I felt like he said, I want to. And Michelle's like, yeah, I mean, I get it. Yep. Like me too. I was like, you too. What?
She need to stop smoking that stuff.
Girl, stop.
You wouldn't no way of feeling that, dude.
The funny part, the part that I told you that I was like, what? They're like upset, like she tried to present herself as a friend to me. He tried to come off as a friend to me. And I was like, let me tell you something. We are on Married at First Sight. You are a fellow person that got married at first sight.
All your
We
friends.
not friends. We're associates. We have a commonality. We're not friends. Maybe once we leave the process and we still stay in touch with each other and we still hang out with each other. Now, there are some couples that after the fact, you could genuinely call them friends. But at this point, we are not friends.
Half of these people wouldn't even associate with each other outside of this show.
The proof. Ikechi don't fool with none of them.
Oh, no, he don't even fool with himself, so that's the difference.
And we're gonna get to them too.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, just as Allan's talking, I mean, he's pouring his heart out. Like his is genuine hurt, and Michelle's is like spite.
Hers is spite. His is hurt. And then I'm glad
pride.
I'm so glad that Allan didn't say, well, let's trauma bond, let us get together. I'm so glad he didn't do that. I'm so glad they didn't try to push that on him. But I do like production. Production, I give you a high five.
Real quick, let me say this though.
What?
He talked about the fact that he doesn't want to see Madison, don't want to talk to her. And when he got to the apartment, she texted him and was like, I want to talk to you. I'm sure I'm not the person you want to hear from. I wasn't trying to hurt you. It wasn't supposed to happen like this. Yada, 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 blah, blah, blah. And his response back was, don't text me no more. No. Like, leave me alone. Ugh.
I like the text before that. If you look at it, she texted him the night that he left, like, where did you go?
And to which he responded, nothing.
Nothing. No response whatsoever. No response whatsoever. So then, like I said, give a tag to production because production was so key. She like, well, they were talking about, hey, you start putting things together because she was hanging out 2 or 3 times a night. And so production runs through this whole reel of how at the honeymoon, how they saw each other and he was smiling at Madison and everything.
Going to the gym together.
Going to the gym together, working out. They got to the point where she tells
they show Allan in the hot tub by himself. I would like to be hanging out with my wife, but she's not here.
So she's hanging out. They imply she's hanging out with David because remember David said that he walked around all night. Who did David walk around all night with? Right. So then they go into they go to have David come out. Oh, my legs and stuff hurt because me and Madison was at the gym and he was just smiling, man, working out.
Yeah, that's the point I made. That he's talking to Michelle. That's what I'm like. Man, all y'all stop feeding into the bull. She didn't have no intuition. There's no intuition. She put context clues together. You can see it in her face right there when he was like, yeah, I worked out with Madison, and he grinning all over top of himself, and she looking like.
Hey, Allan too though. Allan was like, you've been hugging David more than me, and I've seen this, which was the proof to put in this episode, because David got a hug every time they was together.
Mm-hmm.
So they show the part that I like. They showed the clips of when they came in at 153. They both coming together.
Even before that, let me go back. They showed the scene where they were talking to was Dr. Pia, and how he said Madison hangs out late with her friends, and she comes home late every night. And Madison was like, well, I mean, like once or twice. I don't think it was that much. And where before when they showed this scene, they showed Madison coming in 3 days ago, 2 days ago, last night, in the time. This time they show us the same thing, but it's split screen. And it's the time, and you see Madison and David both come into
the apartments. So that's how
at the same time.
That's how production knew, which knew the experts knew. But the one that was the kicker when they playing a game. The question is, what do you do after having sex? She said, eat tacos.
But before that, what he said was, I was hanging out. Oh. Is that when he said, I was hanging out with Madison and her cousin?
Yeah, he said her cousin.
And we went to get some tacos. Now. Let's work with that. Let's work with that. You went from hanging out with her. You're hanging out with her family at a place like at that spot, the cousin spot, right?
Yeah, because they watch football together too. They watched the game together. So him and Madison became buddies, right? He was hanging out with Madison
outside of the space of Married at First Sight, outside of people that are involved in Married at First Sight.
But like I told you when I told the audience last week, when she said our friends, they have a whole group of friends that are outside of this circle that her and David have created because they hang out with each other on weekends, right? While he probably at work, they hang out with each other during the week.
Hey, so did he actually work nights?
Did he? Did he actually work nights? He probably got off early. He was making it. Did he actually work nights? Right? David was doing what he wanted to do so he could hang out with Madison. And so every time she got mad at Allan, I'm leaving. She would hung out with David.
He made that point too. He was like, "Oh, she'd leave out. Or I gotta go call somebody. I gotta go talk on the phone." And then 2-3 hours later, then she come back. So did you actually call somebody on the phone?
Or did you
go upstairs and talk to David and hang out with David?
Because you knew Michelle wasn't coming back. Now, would have been funny if Michelle would have walked in an apartment, Madison up in there. But again, those are things that they, Michelle, David and Michelle, David and Madison they didn't keep it secret. I mean, it was wide open. People just didn't see it. Or production saw it and just didn't tell you nothing.
That's something that, let me go back. I think that's something that Allan brought up when he was talking to Thomas and Juan, like how the signs would, and I think he said that a couple times, how the signs were there.
Yeah.
But like, he just didn't pick up on it. I don't even want to say he ignored it. He just didn't pick up on it. And that he told Michelle, now I see why when people get into something after, like your attitude changes and how you be on guard and stuff like that. Like Michelle tried to say, yeah, oh, he used against me what I said, how my walls go up. Are your walls coming down now? I was like, girl, stop.
Ain't about you.
Stop it.
Ain't about you. But then we see Allan go back to the house. Allan goes get his rest of his stuff.
To the apartment.
He rips that book up.
Yeah, the photo album with the wedding pictures. And he ain't just listen. Let me tell you, he was intricate with it. So he ain't tear the pages out the book.
Nah.
He split the pictures down the middle. So they was still in the book. And then got some corner action going on.
And then he puts the book back.
And then I didn't know he had, when she came later, you could see, he like bent it up.
Yeah, but he set
the book up.
Then he set it back up.
Sure did.
Had it back on the table setting up. And then he takes her vows and burns them bad boys. Like
on the gas stove. And puts the fire out
with his hand.
I was like, if this ain't a white boy crash up.
Like, yo, he's having a moment.
Now listen, I'm gonna tell you, when we jump ahead, what Madison's friend said to him,
Yeah.
I think it was extreme, but it was a little bit there. But I'm not mad at him. Not only that, he broke the missus coffee cup in the sink.
Yeah.
What else did he do?
Because he thought about the time that she stayed out late and they had came in and he had coffee for her.
So he ripped the photo album. He burned the vows. He burned the picture. He broke the coffee cup.
And he already took Luffy where he needed to go.
It was something else he did too. And so he's left. Madison comes back. And she's like, oh, wow. Oh, wow. And she calls her friend Amanda.
Now, I wonder if Amanda's her cousin. Or Amanda's just a friend.
I don't know.
But Amanda knows everything. So Amanda wasn't surprised. She's like, girl, he did what?
She's like, oh, my gosh, I came in here. And so Allan was here, but he's not here anymore. And, he burned our vows. She's like, well, my part burned my vows. And he ripped the picture book. And she was like, oh, my gosh. That's like psychotic behavior.
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
Psychotic behavior was he would have ran upstairs through that house and put hands on that girl.
No.
Psychotic behavior, him taking David and lighting that ponytail on fire when he was at the retreat. That's psychotic behavior.
No. Psychotic behavior. No. Is he could have tore that whole apartment up.
He got paid for that though. I'm not doing that. I got paid for it.
But I'm saying that's that's psychotic. He could have turned it up. Like he could have wrote on something, and he could have cut his fingers up and wrote in blood, I hate you.
He could have took her clothes.
He could have did any, yeah, he could have poured bleach on her clothes or put Vaseline on her clothes.
He could have did all kind of stuff, but that's psychotic behavior, right?
That's psychotic.
Or took her stuff.
That's physical.
Or took her stuff and taken to David's apartment, just laid it in front of his door.
He could have lit her clothes on fire.
He could have lit her clothes. We ain't going left eye.
He could have. He was very close. He
left eye burned the house down.
Listen, he was but it's because she put all his stuff in the bathtub and burned it.
Yeah,
that's how it started. But yeah. So I wouldn't call that psychotic at all. I would call that, what am I keeping this photo album for? Because this is some trash. Because you've been lying. You lied to me. You lied to me. So more trash. Let's just finish with them. Which we didn't talk about before, but when Michelle got to the apartment, she called Pastor Cal.
Yeah.
We going back a little bit because we forgot to say this. She called Pastor Cal and told him what popped off. And for a minute, it was a great silence. And Pastor Cal said, like, what? Say who? He said, what did you say?
Acting like he don't know. Dog, I believe all these people know already.
Listen,
man. I'm telling you,
Pastor Cal is not that good of an actor. He's just not.
There's no way production didn't tell them at this
time. Glenn, I'm telling you, they tell them some things. I think they kept that close to the vest because this gonna make some good TV.
I touche. I give you that one.
Okay. And so Pastor Cal was like genuinely hurt. He sounded tearful. I mean, definitely shocked. He was like, what?
Yeah.
That's just, you don't just go cheat on your spouse. We're not talking about a couple years experiment. We're talking about 8 weeks. You can wait till 8 weeks was over. And I was just like, oh my gosh. And she was like, she was eating it up. Yeah, I know. That's what I said. And which made me mad because Pastor Cal was right. But I was like, don't co-sign her bull crap, please. And so later we see Madison and David sit down with Dr. Pia, Pastor Cal, and Dr. Pepper.
And we finally see Dr. Pepper.
And they're all like, WTH.
What happened?
Lucy, you got some explaining to do.
He said, well, we was in the gym and we started getting our connection. We started feeling each other. And Pastor Cal said, hold on. He said, have y'all been intimate? If you want to call a hug intimate.
David was like, no. But his posture was like,
man, you done seen them cheeks.
Dr. P was like, now look, I'm not going to sit here. Y'all not going to sit here and lie.
You ain't going to play. Dr. P was like, you ain't going to play in my face.
No. And that's what Madison shared too. I didn't want it to be like this. I wanted to, I wanted to tell my own truth, and it didn't happen like that.
But you can tell she was lying too. Because when they should have said, we've been intimate. We done laid in the bed together. We done had some tacos. I done seen her taco. Because Dr. Pepper said, there's no way in the world you send that text message to somebody, you look good, I want to eat you up. And if she would have got that, you don't think she would have responded? You've been doing this for a while. Again, evidence says that you've done this for a while because both of y'all deleted your text messages to each other.
But here's the thing, though. From the way David's conversation went with his friend, and even the way he talked and just gushed over Madison in that space, and she did not, in that space, she did not have the same level of excitement. And he said, this man said she give him butterflies. She give him butterflies. My stomach's all tingling.
I told you, she give him butterflies because she did some things to that dude.
But listen,
I've not met a man.
This why
I've not met a man yet, a grown man. We ain't talking about a high school guy. I've not met a grown man that giddy and over a woman that had not gave him something or did something to him.
I ain't never seen I ain't never seen no grown man giddy like that over getting some neither. Let's be real. I've never seen it.
If he wasn't getting them before,
well, I never. That was
she must have did some things that he.
No, I don't think that made him.
He's a
goof.
He got his nose wide open. She has his nose wide open.
He's a goofy.
His nostrils are.
He's a goofy. But what I noticed in that scene was he was like a teenage boy, and it was so not the same on Madison's side, which I want to preface too. Before she went into the meeting, she basically was like, I don't want them coming down on me, telling me what I'm doing was wrong, da 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 da. Which they did.
You can't tell them how they feel.
She had nothing to. No, not how you feel, but how they should be, because y'all was wrong. And so the biggest part was, like, again, he's gushing all over her. I can see myself with you. I didn't say this, and she's looking like,
I want to take it slow. She told him that.
I'm not saying this is a thing, because Michelle said that to Allan. Oh, they're acting like they're the new couple and we're supposed to just go along with it. Nobody said that. But in this, when it came to David talking to his friend and him talking to the experts, he did carry it like, I made my own Married at First Sight match. Yeah. I made my own Married at First Sight match. And
but he made his
the part that we was like, yes, they pulled Madison's whole card and was like, listen, I don't get it. Pastor Cal was like, I don't get it. When we did your interview and everything, you were quite specific about what you wanted. You wanted a Caucasian man. You said, I could see myself marrying a Caucasian man. David is not that. I don't think if you passed him in the street, if you encountered him outside of this space, you wouldn't even give him the time of day. No. Y'all sitting here trauma bonding and y'all rebound because both of y'all marriages sucked, and then y'all found comfort in each other. This a rebound thing. And she sat there like, wait, you might be right.
She said he was right. I mean, he was right. And they would have met in the street. No, but they met on this show. They realized that they like each other. They realized they had communication. They realized that they were date buddies, and they realized that all the physical intimacy they wasn't getting from their spouse that they could get from each other. And guess what? They did it. My man said he was on the treadmill for 2 hours. I like the treadmill.
He said, I don't be on the treadmill for
But I'm not gonna be on there 2 hours talking to
her.
He lied because y'all wasn't on that treadmill talking to nobody.
But side note, but for real though, I hope David was listening. Pastor Cal said it. She said, I've dated black guys other than white guys before.
But she wouldn't be married to a Caucasian man. Hope you got it, bro. She would date you.
Did you hear it?
She will go with you. But guess what? She will
she
not
lay with you.
Lay with
everything.
You. But she don't want to marry you because she wants to marry a Caucasian guy. I go back to her dad talking about, you got any STDs? That means she doesn't. She been out there. They know what kind of reputation she got.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's enough of that trash. Let's get to the other trash.
Well, that's right. They left it. They left. Dr. P and them just left it on. Dr. P was hot, Beck Pepper hot, Pastor Cal was hot. They're like, what y'all gonna do now? Well, we're gonna just try to work it out.
We're
and
gonna see where it goes from here.
Goes
like David is all in, and Madison is like, we'll see what it is.
You know why? Because the thrill is gone. When you're cheating, the excitement. When it comes out in the air, that thrill is gone. And then she hurt Allan.
I think that was it more than anything.
Because she has hurt somebody. Well, how
she wasn't able to speak her own truth. David took the power from her, her ability to spin it however she was gonna spin it.
That way what happens when you're a fool of the opportunity to lead. She knew he was gonna talk down there. She would have called Allan. She had opportunity. When Allan said, hold on for a minute in the last episode when he was in the bedroom, she didn't have to leave the bedroom. She could have sat, instead of checking the temperature, she could say, okay, I'll wait here till you get finished. I got something to tell you. She decided to leave. So she let the fool go ahead and tell the man about what was going on. Instead of saying, you know what? Don't tell Dave. Don't tell Allan. I got this one. You go talk to Michelle, and I go talk to Allan. That's the common sense thing to do.
You talk to your spouse, I'll talk to mine.
You talk to your spouse, I talk to mine. Or Michelle should have been like, let all four of us get together in the room.
That's what I said. And
hatch this bad boy out.
Oh, I'm going to front you. They better, I'm a front all of y'all. Let's all get together and talk about this. I'm not talking to nobody one-on-one. We all going to get in this room, and we going to hash it out.
All right, so then,
then
we see Pastor Cal, Dr. Pepper, Dr. Pia, talk to EK and talk to MM.
MM and EKG. So we see MM come in first, and she's like,
I don't want this relationship.
I don't want it. He needs some help, basically. Mm-hmm. Let's see what time he on. And of course, he came in there all passive aggressive. Once again,
hold on. Do he ever show up anyway on time?
No.
Dude is always late.
Came in there, face twisted, all just and this time he didn't greet, like he greeted them, hello, but he ain't dap or hug. No, he but even if he ain't dap or hug none of them up.
No,
he sat down, and so they talked about the fact that he came up to the retreat with 1-page divorce letter.
And this is where I needed MM to be quiet.
What you think?
This is why I need MM to be quiet, because he's about to tell his stuff. I need to hear, and MM cut him off. She wouldn't let him talk.
Yeah, they were like, they talked about the fact that, did you do this to embarrass her?
Right.
He was like, no, I didn't do this to embarrass her. And MM said, yes, you did, because yada, yada, yada.
You're bleep, bleep, bleep. Yeah, bleep. You need this, bleep. But, you ain't going to embarrass me, because guess what? I got something for you. She read her letter.
Hold on.
Oh, okay.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
Hold on. Because I just want to stay there. I don't know what he was getting ready to say. He said, but he basically was like, I wasn't trying to embarrass her. But he couldn't explain why he came to the retreat.
Because she wouldn't let him.
Like that. With the paperwork like he had.
I needed an explanation. That's why MM should have been, shh, let him talk. Shh. So she pulls out her own folder. She had a blue folder. A pro blue folder.
She's like,
yeah.
We can do this divorce thing. And
but first I gotta read a letter.
In preparation for today, I wrote a letter to my departed. She read him for filth. She
gave him a list. She gave him a list of therapists to get some help. That joke was so tight sitting over there, and he tried to say, "See, this is what." Oh, that's what she said before he came in. I hope he gets whatever peace. She said, "My mama." That's what she said. My mama prayed for his peace, and they were like, "Oh, your mama said that." What you say? She said, "I wish him the worst." He said, "Pastor Kelsey, not rest in peace, right?"
She's like, no, my mama genuinely wishes him peace. I hope he get the peace that he looking for. For me, I wish him the worst. And then she said so in that letter too.
I wish you the worst.
She said, I got some resources here so you can actually go on wherever you got that divorce from and do a proper divorce. I got a list of therapists that you can go see so you can get yourself together. So I wish you, and she put in the letter, I wish you the worst. Basically, like, I hope you fall off
the face of the earth, bump your
the
head,
face of the earth,
and hit your head.
And
two
that
times.
joke was sitting there all tight, and he tried to. I wish it needed to be done. It needed to be done like she did it, but he used it as fuel to see, this is the person that I have had to deal with that y'all haven't seen.
See, and I'm
which
leaving.
I think is a lie. I think you brought her to this point.
Mm-hmm. Oh, he brought it. He definitely he can't poke the bear so many times before you start.
I don't think she was like this until you started showing your tail.
But she said that. She said she really into this marriage and she was all in. But when you start poking somebody and picking on somebody or doing this to somebody, and when they retaliate, you stand up and say, "See, I told you." Well, guess what? That's the point she's at. You drove her to this. You pushed her to this, right? So one thing I liked about what Pastor Cal said was, he said, "I'm getting ready to leave." He said, "Me and my wife get mad all the time. I just can't walk up and leave. Like, you just want to leave? Like, this is what we're doing?" Well, that's his mechanism. That's his trauma thing, to leave, right? Do I question and I wonder. So when the kids at school start, as a counselor, they start getting on your nerves, do you just get up and leave your office?
No. You know what he does? He tells them to leave.
Like, when you don't get peace, like, do you
he tells them to leave.
Like, come on, bro.
Which that's another point that you made. But it cannot be peaceful at school.
It's not peaceful at school.
It can't. So all this that I need my peace and stuff like that.
He's not getting peace at school. Heck no. It's a bunch of crap. But anyway, that man, Dr. P said, "Did you have to do that?" She like, and someone needed to say it.
It needed to be said.
It needed to be said.
It needed to be said.
Yes, I'm petty. It needed to be said. It needed. They
were so disappointed with her, but I was like,
I wasn't disappointed. I'm like, she needed to say it. Somebody needed to say it. Like, you can't keep giving it to me and I'm not giving it back. I know some people want to take the high road and look
at that point, but she had taken the high road.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
She had taken the high road.
Yeah,
and she was like, "I'm not taking it no more."
Yeah,
because
I'm tired. I'm tired of that BS.
No.
So talked about that. So it just is over with them. Dr. P.
We've had two decisions. We've had three. We've had 3 decision days.
3 decision days.
The one definite, EKG and MM. The other 2, they didn't have a sit down decision day.
But they done.
But the match, the self-made couple, they sat down with the expert. So basically, that was a decision day for the other 2 couples. So we just need a decision day for the last 2 couples standing.
The last couple and a half. We all know. Look, Camille and Thomas.
There's still 2 couples.
Camille and Thomas is the real couple. If Carla and Warren say anything other than no, I got a problem. Because there's been no romantic romance in this relationship, no intimacy in this relationship. They were friends. There's no way Carla and Warren should say yes.
I think
Thomas and Camille,
stranger things have happened.
Strange things has happened. Well, if something's happened in here, it's gonna be real strange. Real strange.
Stranger things have happened.
Hey, well, y'all guys let us know. Hey, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification. Let us know your thoughts on this episode of Married at First Sight. If we missed anything, drop it a comment in the comment section below. I think we covered most everything. I think we got everything covered. I once again thank you guys. Hey, stay here with Jack and Glenn. Love is Blind reviews coming up. We still got Ready to Love. We still got a panel discussion that's coming up this weekend. So there's a lot of content that's going to be dropping here on the Jack and Glenn channel. Once again, we appreciate you guys. Thanks for rocking with us. And we have a good evening.
Bye.